What are you doing today? It is Thumping Thursday. Right. Today we're going to be talking about marketing materials that LPT offers. I'm just going to go over a few, but I'll give you the basics. We have several. We even have some digital marketing as well, which we want to not necessarily lean upon. We want to make sure that we're getting face to face with a lot of these people. That's what the materials are designed to do, is to be able to do a presentation of some sort, or at least have a conversation with them through the material. Eyeball to eyeball is part of this business. I'm going to say, especially since the NAR thing has hit us, it's going to be selling yourself to your buyers and to your sellers. And you need to use all the tools that we have. And I'm sure that there's going to be more tools coming out for the buyer side as well, because that's what we need to do. We need to concentrate on that. Even back in the day when I was doing the business in early 2000, I didn't concentrate so much on marketing as far as what was offered to me. And I would do the 8x8s and the standard stuff, but I actually would lean mostly on the face-to-face, on being able to introduce myself, get a chance to have a conversation with them. Had some of the materials that we have here, but not all of them. 2016, when Robert launched the Power Pack, it was a big change in the market, for agents, and it's gotten just bigger and bigger. And kind of interesting. Well, Robert had no indication whatsoever that he wanted to open up a brokerage, but he started to see that the marketing wasn't being used to the fullest extent. And so he opened up LPT, and aren't we grateful that he did? Right, very good. All right, so we're going to go through some of these marketing tools that you should be using on a regular basis. One of my slogans is empty the box, and we should be emptying the box in 10 days. We need to get it out of there. The only person in this entire company that should have 3 or 4 boxes in his office fully full is me. Everybody else should have them empty, right? You have your sample pack that you get. Everybody gets one. They pay for shipping, and that's it. You guys pay for shipping. That's it. And then after that, it's a concept of what do I do with it, right? You want to be able to get to know it. There's 8 specific items in here, 168 pieces. So, utilize every piece, utilize each one, get to know each one. I do have a video in LPT Connect under knowledge based. If you go to Listing Power Tool live training, it was done a couple of years ago. So I'm going to be updating that. But today is definitely one that you can use. And I notice a lot of you are recording this, so go back through it and let's utilize these things, right? I want you to make it your own. I'm going to give you some suggestions on what to do with certain materials. You got to be comfortable with what you got to do. As a coach in this company, I don't force people to do things. I can't. But the whole concept is for me to give you ideas that maybe you didn't think about. Some of the things that you're going to hear today, you already know. Well, maybe there's something that one of you can actually bring out if you wish, of what you did with it better. It's a basic tool, and we should be using it on a regular basis because it works. Okay, it works. Been using it since 2016. I know that it works. I've sold some crazy homes with it, sold the ugliest house in Stewart with it, and made a family, 2 families, 3 families very, very happy. It was a triple close that day. Very, very happy. And it was all because of using the Power Pack, using the Power Pack's open house kit, Power Pack as well. All these things are designed for marketing. We have to remember we should be real estate agent second. We need to be a marketer first. If you got into this business to sell homes and to help people, that's great. But if all you do is sell homes, that's all you'll ever do. No different than selling used cars. That's all you'll ever do. You market yourself, and this is the concept behind what Robert's given us. If you market yourself, you can create more business off of a very little bit of effort. Okay. One of the classes that I teach, it was going to be in April. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was really, really sick last month. And so I'm pushing everything on a month ahead right now. So in May, we're going to have the Way to Black Badge Part 3. And we're going to have some testimonials about what everybody's been doing with that. And part of that is creating, okay, are you ready for this? Part of that is creating 1 listing a month. That's a quarter listing a week. How many presentations do you need to, how many people do you need to talk to in order for someone to say, yes, I want to list my home? Yes, it's a tough market. Yes, it's going to take a lot more people, but we have to get more no's. That's really the bottom line, right? We need to talk to more people. You're in a business that if you want more money, you just go out and do more work. Not a lot of places do that. If you have a traditional 9 to 5 job and you need a raise because you want to take your family to Hawaii next year, don't know how well that's going to go down. Because I mean, right now with the economy, with inflation and everything that's going on, everybody's tight for money, right? Not everybody's just giving stuff away, bonuses or any of that. I mean, there's companies last year that didn't have any Christmas bonuses for the first time. So there's a lot of things going on, but you're in a business that you can grow if you choose to. Okay, it takes effort, but you got to put the effort in. So we're going to go through piece by piece. The first thing I'm going to go through is going to be our magazines. I think that's probably very, very important. Okay. So I'm going to give you some tidbits on the magazine. Here is your active marketing plan. If you notice, you go, I got my name at the top. Okay. And you should claim one, right? You should claim one. You should get the pack where you can get the marketing, active marketing plan, the 9 critical questions, the 7 home buyer strategies. And remember that the active marketing plan and the 7 home buyer strategies come in 2 forms, okay? And we'll go to the second form. The first form is going to be the full-fledged pamphlet. Keep in mind, people don't necessarily read something that's got this much material, okay, and this much information in it, unless they're really serious. But we are in a business of getting people curious, right? Curiosity creates cash. I mean, we need to get out there and just to build curiosity. When we have a full-fledged presentation, definitely use this, right? Utilize the book for your cheat sheet a presentation. They don't need to know what's inside of it, right? I mean, years ago when I first did this business, I had a old A-frame flip chart. Okay, it was all done in a binder. I just opened it up and I just went through it. Okay, maybe some of you people who've been in the business for a while remember those things, right? I use those things I used to do presentations all the time. Most of my jobs have been presentation. Well, I went through it. I had my information that I wanted to talk about on this side, and I had a flyer on that side, which was the same on this side, but I had all my notes, and they didn't know I was reading off of my notes. And you don't have to memorize all this. Matter of fact, I don't want you to, because you're going to forget something if you do. So utilize these notes. Put sticky notes in there. Write notes in there. I used to put a sticky note, a big pink sticky note in the center that my assistant would put together facts about that neighborhood, right, that I could bring up. And that just makes you feel and know more about the neighborhood. And you're actually letting the seller know the same thing. So utilize these tools to your advantage and get to know them. In order for you to do a presentation on this, because you're not going to read it word for word in front of them, you're going to lose them on page 2. Okay. So this is a overview. Some agents have actually been sending this ahead of time. I like the concept of just going over it and let them read it at their leisure. If they have questions as I review it, then we can answer those questions. But have those notes in there, and make one that's your own, and customize it. Okay, customize it. Now, I know you're giving these presentations over and over and over again, but the key component of being a great presenter is being able to present it in a way that it's the first time that you've presented it and you're excited about it, right? That's what I have to do every time I do a class, every time Penny does a class. It's the same thing. We need to be excited about what we say, because we're bringing across the information to you, even though we know it pretty well. It's that we're bringing it across to you because you've heard it for the very first time. You need to do the same thing, okay? So please read your book. Please read your book. When I was down a little bit and was able to, I got a chance to reread some of these things, brought out some different points that I learned in them that I'll be bringing up in some future classes as well. So utilize the active marketing plan, and that should be your presentation. Robert does not encourage us to go digital on this. He encourages us to do face-to-face. Okay, we can't do face-to-face. Put together a digital format of this and do a Zoom call, but get face-to-face with them so you can have a conversation, okay? FaceTime, anything that you can put together. 9 critical questions. Excuse me. Very critical for us to be able to use this, because this entire book points toward the Power Pack. Okay. My my 10th question on this is going to be, who are you going to use to be able to sell your home? And then you can put in your name, right? So power suggestion, use it for closing, right? But get to know those 9 critical questions. Literally, let's open it up, and it's got a bunch of blank information on there. Go to the pages and find the answers to that, read through it, and put the answer on page 1 for your book, so you don't have to thumb through the whole book. Okay, they can be thumbing through the book and looking for those answers. If there's a specific question that they have, they're engaged, then you can go back to that page and answer that question. If they're engaged, it's great. If you do all the talking, right? If you do all the talking, it's just a class like it is here. Okay, and you don't want to be a class. You want to get them engaged. The more questions you ask and the more they talk, the more control you have of the conversation. Given. Okay, given. Questions are the key to be able to pull someone out of their shell and let you and tell you what they want to tell you. They don't want to tell you until they like you or trust you, right? They need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you. In that order, that's how this business goes, right? And so gain their trust, right? Get them to like you, be on their side, right? So if they decide they need to think on it, don't push them. This is not those old days where I used to show up with my contract and my signs and my lockbox, my attaché case, and I mean I had everything in the kitchen sink in there. I would come in, do my thing, 45 minutes to an hour later, I'm walking out with a contract and putting the sign in the front yard as I'm walking into my car. I mean, I remember those days, right? This is about building relationships. And when I say relationship, I don't necessarily mean a real estate relationship with them. I mean a relationship with them. Get to know them on as intimate level as you possibly can without crossing that line. People need to know that you're human. They need to know how you are. They need to feel that you're into certain things. And please do not talk about politics or religion. I know that that's all there is to talk about right now, but try to find something else to talk about and to be able to form a common ground. Okay. If they decide they don't want to list that particular night, which is fine, well, please leave the 9 critical questions with them, okay? Because they should have these for when they do decide to interview someone else, and then you actually let them know, hey, look, make sure they're doing these 9 things, because that's what's going to sell a house in this market. And as they're asking the other agent the questions, they got this open. Yep, your mugshot right there, right? And they're like, who the heck is that guy? He was a last realtor, and he really brought some real good attention to this. See how you start expanding marketing market you, okay? Not necessarily the house. You market you and what you do and how you can help people. Buying and selling houses will come naturally. You will get more business off of one than you will to be able to just sell that house if you market it, okay? And we'll get into a concept of that in a bit. The other magazine that we have is the 7 Home Buyer Strategies. I truly believe that you should be presenting this to your sellers as well. I think your sellers need to know what you do to qualify buyers, right? I think you should know that. So, present this to them, share that with them. If they have questions, you can answer that. Okay. When you're doing marketing about the active marketing plan in the 7 Home Buyer Strategies, please remember, we have the short version, okay? These are literally just fold outs, okay? And these fold outs are designed for curiosity. Because people will read this in a doctor's office and not necessarily read the entire book, okay? I hope that makes sense. It is a gradual marketing concept. Genius, genius. When he came out with these, I understood totally what he was doing, and it's a leader. And we need to have leaders in our business. We can't just come right on in. This is how we start relationships. When they go through here to the 7 Home Buyer Strategies, and there's only a couple of them in there, they're curious about the other 5. When they look at the active marketing plan, a couple in there, wonder what else is he going to do? What else is she going to do? Okay, so it is a gradual marketing concept, which I think is amazing. Okay, some concepts that you can use. Take the 7 Home Buyer Strategies to your lender. Share the Power Pack with your lender. Why would I share it? Why would I do that, coach? Because he knows a lot of real estate agents. He knows thousands, hundreds of real estate agents, depending upon your area, right? And he also comes across a lot of leads. And if he sees what you're doing for your marketing, then you might be that pick. You never know. Ask him, what's number 8? Ask her, what's number 8? We got 7 in here. Is there something that I'm missing? Right? Include it in your personal copy, include it and include the person's name and let them know that you're going to use that in your presentation and you'll mention their name. Man, you talking about draw, right? It gets lenders involved into your business. They are part of your business. They're an extension of your business, as long with your inspectors and everybody else that you do business with. They're on your team. So create that, right? And create an urgency with the lender. What else should I be talking about, right? One thing that really got me a little, I guess, squirrely was during the pandemic and how so many VA loans were shot down. VA loans are solid as rocks. And even today, I'm still running across agents that just don't understand what a VA loan is as far as getting it passed. It's not that difficult unless there's something major wrong with the house. And then if there is, does the buyer really want it anyhow? Yeah, the sellers don't like it because they don't want them to find something. Well, we should find something. We're going to find it in the inspection anyhow. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into the box itself. I'm just going to go over the listing power toolbox today. One of the things that is super important is the rider. Got your 3 pictures on it, which is usually the front of the house. The kitchen is something that a lot of people like to look at, either a living room or a master bedroom, depending upon how the picture can be taken. If it's got a really nice backyard, put the nice backyard in here, okay? Now, I want to let you know, you see that phone number? That phone number right there is not your cell number. It's not your office number. It's your marketing number. Okay, please know that. Okay, a lot of agents are just like, well, I don't know what that number is. Well, that number is assigned to you through the marketing, through the SMS communications that Robert put together so that people can contact you about your listing. Okay, the okay, that is assigned to the house. Okay, did you catch that? Yeah, it's assigned to the house. Okay, so those digits go up as you get more listings. Hey, this is 1007. If I was in the business, my goal would be 2007. Okay, get 1,000 homes out there, and it's amazing what's going to happen to your business. Amazing what's going to happen to you. Okay, this rider is getting thousands of leads. These leads are coming directly to you. You only need one to sell your house, correct? But you need to market your property throughout the neighborhood so that you can get more than just that one. Okay, but this sign rider is huge. It really does a lot of help to be able to draw a lead, and without really paying for it. You've already paid for it, right? Okay. Okay, so we got 2 sets of business cards. One is a standard business card that you're going to be using, about 24 in here, I think it is. Yeah, 21 of these. 21. I got to mark on my box so I don't have to count them every time. 21 of these. Got a picture of the house in the back, got your information on the front. This happens to be Tracy's. Your information on the front, and your contact information is all right there. These are cards you're going to hand out. Okay. Now, I literally give these cards to the sellers. Okay, they're little tents. You can put some in the doctor's offices and things, around the area, coffee shops and whatnot. And you can give these to the sellers and have the sellers help you be able to find a house for you. Okay, I've had some sellers say to me, "Well, wait a minute, that's your job. You're the one that's supposed to be doing it." I said, "Okay, well, why don't you give me a list of 25 of your closest friends, and I'll send them out a card." Or send them out some information. If you got an email, then I'll send them some information, email, and send over a flyer to them and let them know you're selling your house, and maybe they know somebody. They added 25 people to my database, right? I do that anyhow when it comes time for a housewarming party. So you want to be able to figure out ways that you can actually add to your database. You're not going to count them. You're just going to let them know what's going on with the property so that they can help you. So you got 2 sets of business cards, right? And you want to use. Okay. My favorite in the box is a thank you card. Okay. So the thank you card is blank. Why? Handwritten cards are the most important. They get the most impact. People read them a lot more than something that's printed out. 2024, two things. One, it's not a year of goals, it's a year of commitments. Two, it is not a year of cutting corners. Don't cut corners. Don't get the font on the computer that looks like a handwritten note. It's easier to do. You type it in once and print it off. Handwrite these notes. If you're not got good handwriting, slow down. If you want to hire somebody else to do it, you got children, whatever, you want to help mom, help dad out, do it. Okay. But you don't have to have a lot of words on here, and you want to be able to put your business card up here. What I used to do is I used to get some glue. I don't know where it is. I would get the child's glue, Elmer's glue. That way it would fall off by the time it got to them. Please don't use super glue. I've had some agents do that and it stuck to the card and then they just throw it away. Now, the idea behind you sending this card out is to thank people for showing up to an open house, to thank maybe people that have shown interest in the property. But who's the number one person you should be sending this thank you card to? Who would you think the first thank you card should be sent? How about if we send it, I'm going to get no reaction. How about if I send it to the seller and thank him for the opportunity to be able to list their home and get them to Ohio to be with their grandchildren, right? Don't forget to mention motivation. Motivation is the key to the reason of selling. Right now, we are not necessarily looking for people to sell or buy just because they're looking for a deal. This is a have to market, right? I need to move because, right? I got a divorce and so we're splitting up, so we don't have much choice. We got to get out of it. We do understand. I mean, here's the facts. The facts are that there's a large percentage of men and women still living together that are divorced. They got divorced either after the pandemic or through the pandemic, and they can't afford to buy their own place. That's where we're at right now in the economy. Okay. Know that. Divorce, job demotion, job promotion, children coming along. There's a death in the family. There's so many different things that can happen, and we just need to be there. And I want you to remember, as you're talking to people face to face or on the phone, no is not forever. You've probably heard it. You probably know it. But we seem to get in our head that no's not forever. Here's another thing. When someone's yelling and screaming at you, that is not the person that they are. That is the person that they are at the moment. We don't know what just happened, right? A lot of agents will just say, oh, man, I'm never going to deal with that guy. I mean, he's a real jerk, right? Well, he may have been a jerk, but we don't know if he was, having an argument with one of his kids or with his wife or with his dad or mom on the phone or what. We don't know any of those things. Maybe he just lost his job and he is really mad at his boss. We don't know any of that. That's blind knowledge. But don't assume that that person is that way all the time. Do the unthinkable, right? Do the unthinkable. Send a card and apologize for getting them upset. Let them know that you're concerned about that and that was not in your intention, but your intention was just to inform you about a house that came up on the market down the street. If you'd like to have further information, my card's included. A lot of business off of that. A lot of business. I had people call me just because they never had it happen, because most agents, when that happens and they get upset, they never call them back again. Even if I pick up the phone and I'm calling somebody and it's a do not call and somebody's all over me because they're on the do not call, totally apologetic. It's not, I thought this was scrubbed. I totally apologize. Wasn't my intention. You'll never hear from me again. That's all they need to hear. Send them a card. Apologize again in writing. Why? Why am I sending something in writing? Psychologically and physiology, this is what happens. When they see it, the eyes are the windows of the soul, not the ears. Not the ears. If they hear things, it's great, right? Ladies, you know your gents have selective hearing, right? They only hear what they want to hear, okay? We all do that in some form or another, right? Ladies do it too, but that's kind of how we have selective hearing. But we don't have selective reading. When we read something, it's already in our minds. When it gets into our eyes, it goes into our heads. It's in our heads. It goes all the way back to the little recollection compartment. That's what I call that there, right? And because when they see your face or they see your name again, they can't help it. They can't help it. It comes to the forefront again. And then they see it again. And they see it again. See, this is the concept behind Robert's marketing, right? The concept behind it is repetition. The more repetition there is, the more they start realizing who you are. And here's the other thing. Why don't you take one of the postcards with you, right? And go to pens.com. It is a store that you can go to and get a lot of little teeny pens and crinkets and whatever. You can get those, and you can have your information put on them. Get a potato chip clip, right? And hand this to them and tell them to put it on the side of the refrigerator. And if they ever need anybody, just give me a call. Where's our main goal? Robert's talked about this before. Where's our main goal is to get on the refrigerator? Well, why don't we just ask for it right up front? And if it gets up there and it stays up there too long, and they're like, okay, I got to get rid of this. It still goes in their favorite drawer. We still stay. Even if they throw it away, it's too late. It's already in their heads. This is the concept behind physical marketing. Okay. This is why this marketing is so super, super, super important. Pardon me. I had to get the other ones. All right. We have a small flyer. Okay. Got the information on it you can use. Now, here's what I do with this. Take your door hangers with you and take your small flyers with you. Okay. Have them together. When we go door knocking, it's door knocking. Okay. The concept behind door knocking is to talk to the door. No. It's to talk to the person behind the door, right? All right. So when no one answers the door, right, then you put the door hanger there. Okay. When someone answers the door, then you have something that you can talk about. If you want to put little information on the back, you can. If you want to use this as a postcard, you can. If you want to put it in an envelope and send it to them, you can. There's so many different formats that you can do. Another thing that you can do is you can literally cut this top off here, and it will actually fit into a full envelope. You can put a newsletter in there, and you can mail it out to certain people and do target marketing that way. Okay, but I don't care what you do. Get rid of it. Right, just get rid of it. It's got to be out there in somebody's hands. That's a perfect suggestion for gated communities that does not allow door knocking. I have that a lot. Coach says, "What am I supposed to do with the box then?" Right. Well, just utilize this to get it out to them on a mail basis if you want. Yeah, but it does cost a little bit more money. But at the same time, the money that you're spending is marketing you. Okay. And then creating them and letting people know who you are and what you do, thus creating more business. And you have to have patience with this. You're not going to mail this out once or twice or empty the box and have a whole bunch of business. It's going to take time to settle in because it's not about necessarily how much you put in front of them. It's about their circumstance. When their circumstance is there in front of you and they're deciding, you know what, one of these 6 things has happened to us, and so we need to move. Okay. So keep that in mind. All right, please, don't give up. This business here, you can be successful as long as you don't give up. Okay? But we got to keep ourselves out there and keep canvassing ourselves in order for people to know who we are. Okay. So you got your door hanger. There's only 42 of those in there, but get rid of them. Okay. If you need more, just keep this in mind too. If you need more materials because you've got a bigger neighborhood or that you want to do some more things, Robert's computerized printers are not designed for him to just print up a whole bunch of door hangers, a whole bunch of flyers of one thing. They are actually maneuvered in that printer so that there's very little shrinkage. He has very, very little waste. I mean, it's not, you can almost ball it up in your hand when the whole box is done and throw it in the trash. I mean, it is just so small. But that's the concept of how he's able to give that to you. Okay. And you pay the shipping. He's able to do that and keep his costs down. So let's work with him on that. Find a local print shop, right? That will do all these things, right? They will do mail outs. That's designed for real estate agents. They'll do signs and things like that you can get. They will do, Robert does plenty of signs for us at the print shop, open house, things of that nature. Pardon me. Excuse me. Sorry, I get one a day. I usually do it in the morning. Sorry. But find out, who does mail outs, who does postcards, and take a postcard in, right? Take your postcard in, take your door hanger in. So this is what I want. Okay. And then, of course, a picture of the house that you're promoting is going to be on it. Your marketing is going to be on it. They may ask you for certain things, and you can go into your LPT Connect and get your logos and things of that nature. That's going to be the right font size and format for them to be able to print these things up. Costs you a little bit of money, but you want the same quality and you want it looking very similar. Okay, you want to look very similar because people's eyes connect what you're doing. Okay, all right. So keep that in mind in marketing. It's very, very important. So find that marketing. I mean, this guy here does everything. Um, he does brochures and folders. He'll do direct mail. So I can literally give him a neighborhood and say that I want a postcard that we've just designed, sent out to that neighborhood, and they'll send it out to him. And I pay him to do that for the shipping and the processing. Right? Business cards, you can do those there. Postcards, card magnets, labels, banners. It just goes on and on and on. Realtor signs, it goes on. So find somebody in your particular area that will do that, and that will help you keep things moving and making sure that you are getting out there. Please be very mindful. One of the classes I teach is on budgeting. Please be very mindful of expenditures. Sorry. We have to be able to budget ourselves. Okay. I want you all having money by the end of the year. There's a lot of agents who don't. A lot of agents who don't have any money at the end of the year. Because and then this time of the year, they're like biting your nails and toes and everything else right now because in a couple of weeks they got to send money off to Uncle Sam and they don't know where they're going to get it from. So please do that. And I do have a class on that. If you haven't read the book Profit First, please do so. It will help you with your budget. Profit First. So we have a couple more flyers here that I want to go over. One's going to be the large flyer, which is relatively put in the home, okay, for marketing, which is really cool because buyers will come in and say, oh, good, we got some pictures of the house. I'll take it with you. But look what else is on there too, right? All right, your pictures on there, your information on there. I know the buying agent ain't too happy about it, but it happens, right? And it's materials that you leave out there. Are you putting the box up at your open houses? You should. If you don't have the open house box to put up, which is fine, put up your listing, your sample pack. Put it up, right? There are going to be agents who are going to come in and take a look at it and will know what it is. That's your marketing, right? Sellers are going to come in that are looking for a house. They're buyers, but they also are sellers. Most buyers are in some form, right? And so they're wanting to know, wow, what do you got, man? That's pretty cool. Well, I'd love to set up an appointment with you. I'll share it with you and go over it. Okay, well, yeah, and see if they're interested, right? They'll do it. You want to give them one of the smaller pack of the active marketing plan. You can give that to them, right? So be prepared with the materials that you have, the marketing that you have, because that's where it's headed. It's definitely headed to face-to-face marketing, okay? So you want to put this, and what I used to do is put it in a stand-up, and then I would have other ones behind it. Okay, this is my favorite one. I saved the best for last as far as the marketing materials is concerned. Besides the rider, because I know it really draws people in. And this is the fold out, right? And this is the neighborhood stuff. So it's going to have everything on it. It's going to have the picture of the house, just like your large flyer, but on the inside, it's literally going to have area of interest. Now, here's what I do a little bit different than most. I'll get a Sharpie and I will go to them and I will say, okay, so in this particular brochure, what's been selected is the airport, a local coffee shop, dry cleaners, there's a gas station nearby, grocery store, things like that. There's an ATM, a library, post office. Is there anything else in here that I should denote? So when I'm talking to people, when they're coming into their open house, I can let them know that that's nearby. Yeah, there's a dog park not too far from here. Where is it at on the map? And I literally put a little circle, right? I'm not too much of a drawer, but I'll put a little doggy there, or I'll just type in dog park. If you're not an artist, type in dog park. And then they know that that's there. And I keep this for myself. I don't put it out for everybody. I keep this for myself so that I have a reason to have a conversation with somebody. Something that's not on the information that's setting up on the table. Okay. So utilize that. And it's going to do two things. One, it's going to give you more knowledge of the area. It's going to get you more to get to know the area even better. And number two, it's going to get the seller involved. See, this marketing is designed to get the seller involved and making sure that they're part of the transaction, right? Because what I love to do is I love to create a team. And you should create the team with your seller. Your seller, yourself are working together to sell the property so that they can get to Ohio to be with their grandchildren, right? It's not about moving away from the state. It's about where they want to go to and why they want to get there. And that was actually a true story for me. Had a couple that wanted to move to Ohio out of Orlando. Never understood it because it was the flattest state in the country. And yet the reason behind it was daughter wasn't coming to Florida, and they had a grandchild and they had one on the way and they didn't want to miss it. They were in their mid 60s and it's like, well, I guess it's time for us to make the move. Right. So the entire transaction was about getting them to Ohio in 30, 60 days to be with their grandchildren. When the offer came in, it was about the getting to their grandchildren, not about the money. Even though money was part of the issue, it wasn't the main factor. Okay. So keep that in mind too as you're doing your negotiations. These marketing materials helped him understand that I'm serious about helping him get to Ohio to be with his grandchildren. He was impressed with the sign, with the rider, with all the brochures. I'm telling you, the quality of these things, thousands of dollars would be, hundreds to thousands of dollars would be paid in order for you to have that. I took the box to the local Office Max and I said, hey, tell me how much this would cost to duplicate and get started. To get started, it was a little over $1,000 to get started and about $450 to duplicate with a different picture. So they would already have things set up. See, the setup cost is the biggest thing, right? I've had some agents tell me that $1,400, $1,500, $1,700, I think is the highest number that I've got. And here's the thing, everybody, you're not spending that. Where the top agents in the area that's with other companies, they have to spend it if they want it. Do they have things like this? They do. They've created their own, right? But they have to spend it. It's part of their profit that they have to spend that's not in their pocket. Robert's provided that for you, right? Oh, how many agents do you know that put a sign up on a billboard that they're with a certain company, or that they have a luxury house that's for sale and that luxury house is up on a billboard nearby in that city, right? Radio, TV, we have all of that. And these are all part of marketing concepts that Robert's put together for us agents to utilize. Regardless of the cost to us, it is well worth it because it's so minute in comparison to us trying to do this on our own. When I was in Orlando in the early 2000s, I did a radio show. It was expensive to be part of that. It wasn't a guest speaker type thing. I mean, I had to pay money to be there. Back then, before podcasts became big, radio shows were big, right? Things of that nature. I never, what was it? Oh, it was like 3,500 or 4,000, $3,500 to $4,000 to do a billboard. Now, understand, those billboard back then were paper, right? So they literally had to put paper. Yeah, I know, I'm older and dirt. I'm sorry. But they had to put the paper up on there. Right now, it's all digital. That's the only billboards that they'll use, and they'll do a rotation. So it's very cost effective for the billboard company. Okay. But you get a chance to be part of that. And I'm sure more that's coming down the pike. He seems to be adding things new at every conference. So we're getting new things all the time, right? I'm looking forward to the Connect 2.0 because I think that is huge that you agents get to connect with one another. I think that is fantastic. You're going to be able to do referrals together. There's just so many things that you're going to be able to do. And I would love to be able to see an LPT day to where it's basically called a seventh level open house where we got at least five homes in the area with LPT signs out front doing open house on a given day at a given time. That would be amazing, right? That would be amazing. That's the ultimate goal that I have with my agents to be able to create that. So if you haven't done that, if you got several agents in your area that LPT agents, try to put that together. If there's just 4 of you, just 2 of you, put together a basket and do a giveaway. If they come to both places, they come to all 4 places, you have a basket at the end that you're going to do a giveaway. Hop on Facebook and do a giveaway. This type of marketing is hands-on. This type of marketing is letting people know who you are and what you do. It's not necessarily about selling the house. The selling a house will happen by default. And just as a coach, I just don't want you concentrating on just selling the house. But if you concentrate on marketing that property with you're the one that's marketing it. And you create 1 listing a month. And out of that listing, you should be asking the question, how many listings? Can I get 2 more listings or buyers off of that sign before it comes down? Right? And utilize the box. Utilize the big white box to do that. And you know what? You don't have to order just one. The first one that you get is for free plus shipping. The second one you can pay for. It's like $140 to get a second one. Put it out there. Get one for an open house. Get it out there. The more things that you get out there in a given neighborhood, the more they get to know who you are. And I love these power packs because they literally get you to do your job. Your job is to market. Your job is to let people know who you are, what you do, and who you're with. Right? And it's getting done. Is it getting done enough? I don't think so, but it is getting done more and more all the time since we've been promoting pretty hard. At the boot camp, which is coming up on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of this month in Orlando, I will also be on Zoom. We go through things like dot loop. We go through the contracts. I go through the power packs. I do 3 of them instead of just the one. I do 3 of them there. And then at the end, we do a challenge. And I don't know if you've heard about the 60 and 60 challenge or not, but I really encourage you to do it. I have several agents that have been doing it. One of my agents actually did 90 presentations in 60 days. She just had a closing last week off of that she never would have gotten. And she has like 4 or 5 buyers she's working with, 2 or 3 agents that are interested in LPT, and a listing that she's looking to get here in the next week. All off of just sharing that box and saying, hey, I'm working for a company who's a marketing company that happens to sell real estate. And I want to share with you my marketing just to see if you wanted to sell your house, do you think this is something that would work? I just need your opinion. Show up and share that with them in 10 minutes. You can go through this box in 10 minutes. I took a little longer, but you can go through this box in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, share it with them, and then ask them what they think. What did you like? What didn't you like? And at the end, make sure that you ask an action question. And the action question always is, do you know 3 to 5 people that I could share this with and get their opinion on so I can complete my survey? Just do it. That's all Jessica did. Just do that. 90 people in 60 days. It's amazing what happens. It's amazing what happens. So market yourself, right? Market yourself. There she is. She's here today. Market yourself. Market yourself. Okay. It's more about marketing than it is about selling and buying, because the selling and buying comes from default. Okay. Is there any questions? I wanted to kind of leave some time for some questions for our marketing. I know it's probably been driven into you by now. We've been at this for a year or two, but it's an amazing tool to use. It's something I know like the back of my hand, and I know that it really, really works. And we're getting agents involved with that. Try the 60 and 60. I think you'll be amazed at what it does to your business in the next 60 days. No questions. I can't be that.
Coach.
Welcome, Jessica. I can't be that good. We got to have some questions. I know I'm out of breath. Excellent, excellent. So I'd like to conclude by saying thank you for being part of LPT. I'm so proud to be here myself. I know you guys and gals are too. Please keep pushing forward. We are going through some tough times right now, but we will get through it. We've got a fearless leader that's coming up with some awesome ideas to give us tools that we need. But the tool that we need to start with starts here. It starts between the ears. We got to have the right mindset and mentality, understanding that we're in business to make sure that people buy houses and sell houses, and we're going to be part of that regardless. And we're only looking for the people that want us to be part of the transaction. So keep that in mind as well. If you have any questions about NAR or all this stuff that's going on, just reach out to me. It's keith.dean@lptrealty.com, just like your email, keith.dean@lptrealty.com. Just reach out to me if you have a question. I'd be glad to meet with you. Come to my class on Monday at 11:30. I go through all my coaching concepts and choices. And if there's something that's there for you, you can utilize that. It's all provided by LPT. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.